What's up, you guys? My name is Carson Rouse, and welcome back to Business Buzz, where we focus on business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Today, I've got another side hustle for you guys, and specifically, it is a cell phone repair business to supplement you with some extra income. So, we've all cracked our phones before, right? Whether you've been walking down the sidewalk and drop it, or you flush it down the toilet, or you throw it at the wall at a moment of rage, we've all done it. But we never learn, do we? People will continue making these mistakes, and cell phone manufacturers will continue making their phones fragile enough to break to save a quick buck. If you're like me and you have absolutely no idea how to fix a cracked screen or a water-damaged phone, you'll end up hiring someone, whether that be a company or a tech-savvy person in your life, to fix it for you. And you'll find out very quickly that you can get charged a very steep fee for such a service. But if you're looking to get into the business, you should only take this as inspiration. So in today's video, I'm going to go in depth on all that goes into this high margin business, how you start it up, how you can market your services, and how you can estimate about how much you'll be making when you get things up and running. I will not miss a beat in this video, so be sure to watch the whole thing. Also, before I get into it, make sure to go down and leave a like for me. I would really appreciate it. First, I just want to go real quick through the business model. So the business model is simple. You're offering a service to a customer who is in need of having their phone fixed, whether that be to get it up and working properly again, or just to fix a few aesthetic issues. You then charge them a fixed rate for your services, but it can vary a bit depending on the type of damage to their phone, like whether it was cracked or water damage or both, and to the extent of their damages. If it's really bad and you have to replace a bunch of different parts, you're probably going to want to charge more than if it's a simple fix. Okay, now the interesting part, starting up your business. First off, and most importantly, you're going to need to learn how to get comfortable and experienced with fixing phones. Obviously, you want to be very, very comfortable before you go and start your own business. I personally recommend to learn how to fix a variety of different phones, a variety of different brands, makes, and models. Because if you specialize in only iPhones, of the 8 model and up, then you're vastly limiting your customer base, which means you're not going to get as much revenue, and then you're not going to get as much referrals, and in the end, you're going to be a failure and your business will not work. Now, to go about learning the trade, you've got a few different options for education. Number one is good old YouTube. You can learn just about anything on YouTube nowadays. It's totally free, and there's a huge library of knowledge out there. The only problem with YouTube is that there's a lot of misinformation, and you're going to have to jump through a lot of hoops to find the right videos. You might need to learn a specific thing, spend a lot of time looking for that video. Unless you find a nice streamlined course, I wouldn't really go the YouTube route. Number two is Udemy. Udemy is an online paid course site. In fact, there's plenty of different websites like it. You don't have to use Udemy. But basically, they are pretty professional courses made by people who know what they're talking about. And again, it's very put together well, streamlined, and easy to follow. And you can go back and look at older videos and just do it in order and learn on your own time. The only problem with Udemy is that most of their courses do cost money. Some of them are free, but a lot of their cell phone repair courses do cost money, anywhere between 10 or $100 usually. Your final option, if you want to take this real service, is there is actually institutions out there who offer kind of like degrees and like learning the trade. They're like these 4 to 7 day courses where you are just cramming, learning this information. The tuition is usually around $1,000, but by the end of it, you just take a test and you should really know what you're doing by then, especially if you're paying that much money. I wouldn't recommend that. At the end of the day, I would probably recommend something like Udemy, but the option is yours. But when it comes to cell phone repair, learning from a book or a video isn't going to get you very far. It takes experience and a lot of it to get comfortable, so get ready to practice. I would recommend one of two things, or both. Number one, use a bunch of old phones to practice on. You want to get as comfortable with these phones as possible. And number two, you may even want to consider applying to a cell phone repair company that's already established. There, you can work there for a few months, maybe even a few years, and gain some real experience and tricks of the trade. And from there on, you can steal all their ideas. I'm just kidding. But then you can go out and start your own business after a period of time. Oftentimes, if you do work for a certain type of business, you have to agree that you won't start a competing business for a decent interval of time, so you may not want to go that route, but if you're willing to give it a few years, you can try that out. Always keep in mind that if you don't know completely what you are doing, the customer will take notice. Now, to start up your business, you're obviously going to need to purchase a few things. Number one being, I would purchase a bunch of cell phone repair kits. Cell phone repair kits can cost anywhere between $40 to $100, somewhere in that range. Some can be very expensive, and they have all sorts of tools like suction cups and screwdrivers and all the things you'll need to repair phones. You're also, of course, going to need to purchase spare parts to be used on the broken phones that you are repairing. For example, new screens, and there you can just simply go to Amazon or eBay and buy in bulk. But my recommendation to you is to only buy from the highest rated sellers on their respective platforms, because if you don't, it's very likely that you're going to get sent a bunch of junk and your customers will not be happy when their screen breaks again in 3 days. Your total startup cost, if you're starting out very small, just local, stuff like that, you're not buying a shop or anything, your total startup cost really shouldn't be any more than $2,000. But this can range widely depending on your education path of choice, the quality and quantity of your equipment, all that good stuff. But honestly, try to keep it as cheap as possible. You don't have to go all balls out to start a business. Really quick, because I know this is boring, I want to go over some legal requirements. First and foremost, you must form a legal entity to protect yourself. So if your business is sued, it won't be your personal liability. It won't be you getting sued, to save you from a lot of trouble. You then must register for taxes by applying for an EIN. You don't want the IRS to come hunting you down. Finally, you need to open your own business bank account with a credit card that goes along with it. This will help organize your business financials separately from your personal finances, and it's also important because whenever you're buying something for the business, you can always buy it from the business card to help keep track of what you can use for tax write-offs. Now let's get into marketing. The great thing about a cell phone repair business and the whole industry right now is that there's not too much corporate competition. So you're not going to be eaten alive by them undercutting you by prices and making it extremely difficult for you to gain new clients. Honestly, they're pretty spread out, and you should be able to take over a territory if you work hard. I would recommend that when you first start out doing cell phone repairs, to start out with great discounts, just to get a few people close to you, or even not, to just repair their phones for very low cost, just to get the ball rolling so you can gain some experience and so that word of mouth can start ticking. Because I'm telling you what, I'll give you some ideas here, but word of mouth advertising is your biggest friend in this business. When it comes to the cell phone repair business, in my opinion, the biggest push that you should get out there to people is the convenience, because you're not going to lure too many people in on pricing and all that stuff, because I've never seen a cell phone repair cost and been like, wow, that's cheap, let me get on it. No, market your convenience, whether that be going to their houses and doing their cell phone repairs right in their home, or you can market, hey, I can repair your cell phone in less than 30 minutes, and that'll get people excited because they know it'll be quick and painless. So that is what you market. Don't brag and boast about your prices, because they're not going to be that much better than your competitors, if at all. Also, I would of course recommend building a website and a few social media pages around your business just to get the word out there. And always have a business card on you, so if you see somebody with a broken phone, you can just hand it to them. Or your customers, you can hand them the business card, so if they ever need you again, they know who to call or who to contact. I've talked about this a few times already, but I would really recommend a business model where you drive to the customer's home to fix their phones. In my opinion, that is the greatest thing in the cell phone repair business, and I think that you should take advantage of it. But again, I say, a big smile, a good personality, and hard work is your best marketing device, because that will be very helpful when they're telling their friends about your work, and that'll only gain you new clients. Now let's get into pricing and profits. As I always preach with all my side hustles, do not sell yourself short. Do not be the cheapest guy on the block. So many business startups believe that if they just undercut all their competition in prices, they'll be the big dog on the street and they'll be raking in the dough. However, that's usually not the case. While customers might seem like they love low prices on the outside, subconsciously, if they see that you're so much cheaper than everybody else, they're gonna think, wow, maybe he uses cheaper products and overall his service isn't quite as good. If you want to be seen as a professional in what you do, then price it as such. You'd be surprised what people will pay when you're confident in your abilities and your work. A good price for a simple phone repair can range between $80 to $100, in many cases a lot more. It might seem like a lot, but that's actually the average, possibly the low side of average. Again, this is a high margin business, so you can expect to earn a profitability rate per service of around 80%. So if you charge $90 per phone repair, after taking into account some main expenses, you can expect to profit around $70 before taxes. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, if based on that scale you charge $90 a repair and profit $70 per phone that you do, and you average one repair a day for an entire year, that's about an extra $25,550 a year in supplemental income, or that could be your main income. The beautiful thing is that you can continuously expand and renovate your business as you grow larger and smarter. You can hire employees, purchase company vehicles, and if you so choose, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you so choose, you can even purchase a property to use as a cell phone repair shop one day. Guys, the possibilities are endless here. Let me know down in the comments if you think this business is interesting and you're considering getting into it. Also, let me know some other businesses that you want me to cover in the next Side Hustle series. Anyway, for more business, entrepreneurship, and investing content, subscribe to Business Buzz, and I'll see you next time.